for an item, and you've been doing that, reaching for an item from the table, and it's to improve that mobility so that you're able to move about a little bit more easier. Now we're going to come into our ankle mobilizers. So I'm going to take a seat back into the chair, and you can do this seated, and I'm going to point my toe and flex my heel back. So I'm going to point my toe and flex my heel back, and I want to strengthen the front of my foot and the back because this helps with heel toe walking. Then I'm going to place it back, and the same for the other side. Pointing my toe and flexing my heel back. And I'm going to do that 4 times. And then bring my foot back. And it might be that some of you do some little taps with the ankle. I think whatever movement you can do with your ankle that's best for you, your version of. Next, I'm going to come into my seated position, and I'm going to bring my hand across my thigh. So I'm just turning my chair to show you. Other hand goes underneath the chair or somewhere that's comfortable. And I'm very slowly turning my head and shoulders. Now, caution with this exercise. Again, it's mobility of the back, but it's turning into trunk movements. So if you're living with a back condition, narrowing of the spine, the movements have got to be very small. Alternatively, coming into a side bend. So bringing yourself back in the chair, and you're very slowly holding on with the side, and you're taking yourself from a very small movement side to side. So that helps the flexibility of the big wings in your back. So next I'm going to warm back up for my leg strengtheners. I'm going to come into my toe to heel, keeping that breath nice and steady, and just doing a little bit more warm up with my feet. And from here, I am going to take a lift with my heels and a lift with my arms, just to get the heels activated, the calf muscles activated for my leg presses. So I'm going to take my band, and I'm going to see where I'm positioned in the seat, whether I've got room behind me or I need to go at the back of the chair. And I'm going to take my band on the floor and put it round the middle of my foot. And then I'm going to either scrumple up the band, or I'm going to hold it into ponytails. Now this a lot depends on my wrists, yeah? So what I would do, holding on the other chair, is I would start by scrumpling my wrists up. And then I'm going to lift up with the foot. And I've got the band in the middle of the foot. And then I'm going to bring it towards my hip. And then I'm going to keep my posture, so my tummy muscles in and shoulders down. And I'm going to push through, taking the band, stretching to the floor. And I'm going to come back up. So I've got a little movement coming up. I'm going to push down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. So no holding breath, keeping that rhythmic breathing. Ideally at home, doing this for 2 lots of 6 repetitions, up to 2 or 3 times a week. So once I've done my 6 on this leg, I'm going to take my heel off, and I'm going to place the foot under the other leg. So now I'm going to scrumple up the band, and I'm going to lift the foot and bring towards my hips. And then I'm going to press down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then lift back up for 1, 2, 3. So keeping my rhythmic breathing, I'm making sure my knee doesn't lock out. I've got my opposite foot underneath my ankle. And again, I'm going for 6. So the idea is that you'd be doing 2 lots of 6 on each side. Then I'm going to take my foot from underneath and take a pedal on the spot. Next, I'm going to come into my outer thigh strengthener. So my band is going to come across my legs and I'm going to keep my feet together. So once you've done your 2 6 on each leg, you join for this one. So building up that leg strength is important to rise up out that chair a little bit more easier, and to build all our posterior chain, walking up steps, anything from getting up from a seated position. So band is going to hold, and I'm going to secure it tightly around my legs with my feet together, and then I'm going to, making sure my knees and ankles in line, I'm going to pull out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to come back in. So when I get to that 4, 5, I'm going to pause just for a moment and then come back in slowly for 1, 2, 3. So the benefit of this exercise is it helps us to step to the side more easier. It helps us to build up our side muscle strength. We've got a fibrous tissue, big one, that runs from your hip towards your knee. And by building up that strength, then you are able to do those side steps more easier, and to help to reduce lower back pain, because if you can get your side of your muscles stronger, that's another thing to support that back. So I've gone for 8 of those, okay. I think with all things in the class, we stop at 5 or 6 and we think, how am I feeling? How is it feeling for me? So by this time, you might feel a bit of huff and puff, and that's okay. But you still want to be able to roughly feel as if you can talk, or in yourself, you want to feel comfortably tired, yeah. Comfortably tired, but okay, but happy. If you need to take a moment, I'm making sure I've had my drink to hand. So my drink today is right next to me. So I've just got to do a reach. Actually, where is it? Where is my drink? So my drink is just on the. Imagine my drink is just on the floor. So I did have a bottle of water here earlier. So I can pick up my bottle of water and I can have a little drink. Okay, lovely. With exercises as well, when you do one set, and you do one set, so one set 6 times, yeah, it's 1 times 6. Have a rest and just think about how you feel, and then go for another set. So next, I'm going to be doing my upper back strengthener, and then I'm going to be getting out of the chair again, if I feel comfortable. In fact, I think I'll do that upper back strengthener standing, but if you don't feel comfortable, you'd only get out of the chair if you feel comfortable. So I'm going to take my heels back and I'm going to prepare for standing. With the upper back strengthener, so for those of you that have those back conditions that make things tight, you might want to do this seated, yeah? So it's completely up to you. So I'll show it seated, but you're welcome to do it standing if you want. Remember, when you stand, your heels go back, you're standing up, and you're pedaling for 15 seconds-ish on the spot before coming round to the back of your chair. So the hands are underneath the band, and you've got the band long ways like this. And you're going to bring your hands together, and then shoulders back and down. So one thing I would make sure before you do this exercise, that your shoulders are loosened. Yeah. So to do that, you may need to do some shoulder rolls. You may need to get some arm swings on the go, but make sure your shoulders are loosened. Hands are going to come underneath the band, and I'm going to take a pull and drive it back towards my tummy. And then I'm going to come back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I've just started this exercise, we work on range of movement. So if it was my first couple of weeks, I would pull, I would try and prompt myself to breathe out here, exhale, but I may not be able to come back to my tummy. This may be my range. I'll come back, 1, 2, 3, and release. As time gets on, 4th, 5th week, you get used to this movement, and so you might be able to get your band to your tummy, but you have to think about your back all the time. Then we're coming out and exhaling for 1, 2, 3. So for that, I would do 6 times. I would have a break. Then see how you're feeling. Where are you feeling? If sciatica, are you feeling it up the thigh? Do you need a break? And just judge it from there. So taking the toes into a walk. So I'm going to bring myself up in a moment to a calf